are honored to be joined this awesome day with a legend here in Jones County. It's Franklin Duffin. First off, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Duffin.
Well, I stay right across from Jones Senior High, and from 1985 until 2015, I helped coach from the recreation all the way through high school. Done all the levels, girls, boys, different teams. And then after that, I retired from the State Department. And then I started my own lawn care service. So that's an update on, from then to now.
How much have athletics changed in your lifetime? Like you said, you started coaching in 1985. You're a young, sprightly 69-year-old man, but how did you see in the 30 years of coaching that you did, how did athletics change here in Jones County?
Well, athletically, Jones County had always had good athletes. The DNA from the parents and stuff generated down to the kids, and it made coaching easy.
Mm-hmm.
All the coaches had to do, we had to have them disciplined enough to go out on the field and do their job. But now it's more of a individual than team concept. And that's one of the reasons why, a person they call old school like me can't coach today.
Yeah.
Because our mentality is all about team, and it's too much individualism. But
as someone myself, I've covered sports in the state of North Carolina since 1991. The thing I've noticed, I want to bounce this off you, Mr. Duffin, and just see if you agree, is that when you get kids individually, they're very coachable, and I've always enjoyed that. But it's when you get maybe 3 or 4 or 5, and they've been watching what's on ESPN and all this other kind of stuff. That's what changes them a little bit, isn't it?
It's the highlights. To me, I know that's what sells, for ESPN and all the other medias, but it took away fundamentals, like the proper way of tackling, where to put your head at, how to block without holding, and all these other things they try to do now with technique. We did it with raw talent. And the good thing about now, you can develop your body a whole lot more than you could then, because people wasn't into that.
Mm-hmm.
Most kids then came from the tobacco field or work job right out to the field. So they had the work ethic in them. You just had to, change gears and make it adaptable to what you were doing.
And you had to work your practice schedule around them being out in the field and working and stuff, didn't you?
Oh yeah, you had, you knew that tobacco or cotton or whatever it was, they had to have that little money to buy the school clothes and, to help. Some of them help with the family economics. So it was just a great experience to learn about kids. See, the kids really make a coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the DNA in the kids to be good, they're not going to be good. They're going to be average.
Yeah.
But if they got the DNA plus the coaching, the sky's the limit.
I've always heard that even Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest, football coaches of all time, if he didn't have Bart Starr, if he didn't have some of the players that he had, you'd have never heard of Vince Lombardi, right?
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk. You've seen a lot of history here, and especially on the sports side. We'll get to some more of real life, but what are some of your favorite memories when you look back at your 30 years of coaching here in Jones County?
Well, one of the greatest things to me was when you saw the guys in '93 win the state championship in basketball.
Yeah.
It's because we knew the coaches, we knew the history of it. We knew the guys when they were in the rec and the, elementary schools and the middle schools, and which one of them had to change for them to have a team like that.
Mm-hmm.
See, they had to have a whole lot of team meetings within the team to make it come out, because it was some individualism showing up then, but the players took charge and said, we're going to win this, So that took the coaching part out easier.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a captains that will step up, and that's, in the last 30 years, I mean, we had some good teams, but it seemed like we get to the brink of it, either the grades wasn't this or, guys getting hurt and then when the team that went to the state championship game and, eventually lost, that was a great team.
Yeah.
Because what they struggled through, I mean, from where they started at the beginning of the season and what they had to go through with to make it where they went, they literally had to go from the mountains to the coast to play.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about back in 2011, correct?
Right.
Yes.
So they really did that.
How much personal pride did you take in that too? I mean, that you helped those kids as they came up.
Right.
Too.
See, and that what people don't realize. If one kid make it, you may not even be coaching that kid then. If he make it, it's just like you made it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a kid on TV, we got a kid right now that, he goes to Methodist. And I take so much thought into him because I can remember when he was in rec, he couldn't hear.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his hearing aids. And it changed his whole life.
Wow.
I mean, he went from not being able to communicate on the field to the star.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was star to me because what he went through. He would go in every play hard. He didn't care what happened. He wasn't but $130, but here you go. I mean,
I got to tell you, sometimes those little guys like that,
yeah.
I'd rather have a $130 guy than a 175 guy that just doesn't care, but maybe has more natural talent but doesn't care, because that $130 guy, he's got something to prove, doesn't he, Coach?
Oh yeah. If you don't have any self thing inside of you to prove as an athlete, mm-hmm. you already think you're good. You're not good. You're just average.
Yourself, I would love to know a little bit about yourself. Did you play sports when you were coming up? Was it right here in Jones County? Mm-hmm. Where was it?
In Durham.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up in Durham, and I played sports all the way through high school, and then in college. I got a college scholarship to play, but I got hurt, mm-hmm. so I couldn't play. And when you can't play, you're looking for something, mm-hmm. Because that's all you know. I'm going to practice. You got a routine, and that's a lot of things people don't know about sports. It keeps a lot of men out of trouble, mm-hmm. and some girls, too. But the guys, they have something to look forward to. You don't have to worry about the gangs, getting them. Mm-hmm. Because they're actually got a family. See, the game portrays family. So if you don't show that as a team, as family, then the kid don't know where to go. He has nowhere to go. No. But a lot of them don't have one parent in the house, the mother or the father. They're struggling all they can to try to make it, but they can't take care of all those other kids, plus come to the game. Sometimes you got to go pick the kids up, take them to practice. You got to do it all. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you can't just say coach or this, that, no. You got to be coach for life. They look at you as coach now. And that's your reward. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna get no name on big murals and $1 million. But when one of them say coach, that makes it, well, I did do something in his life or her life.
That is amazing. So what brings a Durham City guy to Jones County?
The average thing, a woman.
A woman, as always, as always. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, my wife, me and her met at college, mm-hmm. and she was from Jones County.
Okay.
And she was
What's your wife's name?
Sharon Dillahunt.
Okay.
And so when we first got out of college, you do job stuff, and when I came down here, people were so receptive and the attitudes were so positive, and being from the city, everything is hustle bustle. But everybody took time to want to know you, where you're from, and this, that, and the other. You said, now this might be a good place to live. So
she must have been awfully pretty too to get you out of the city to Jones County, right?
You know how that is. So you concentrate on the future. You say, well, I can go here, and then I bought a house and a store all at the same time, and I had to develop a store, and paying for a house and working and all the rest of it. And then I closed the store down and started working with the state. And then, I went from there to going out first took my son to practice, you know, my little son, and
Yeah.
and then somebody said, "You want to coach?" I said, "Nah, you know."
Let somebody else do
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and then next thing I knew, I was throwing a ball to one of the kids, and they were amazed you could throw a ball, you know, over throw a ball. And I was a pitcher, you know, growing up, so I still had arms.
Southpaw too,
Yeah,
right?
yes, left-handed,
Yeah, well,
and
that's what I'm
all
saying. I
that.
saw you
Yeah,
throwing with your left.
yeah. So next thing I know, I'm throwing batting practice.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm coaching the team, you know, and so it would just evolve, you know, from step to step like that. And, you know, went from baseball to basketball to football, you know, we even had soccer, you know, that was something new to us around here, soccer. But, you know, I grew up with soccer, so, you know, it was by being in Durham, that was common to do, you know, so they made it, you know about soccer? I said, yeah, just a little bit, but, you know, you grew up with it, so, you know, swimming, you know, you had all different. That's the only big difference to me in city and country. The more acceptable to all sports.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just not limited. See, here you're limited to a handful of sports,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if you got a swim team or something like that, they wouldn't, you know, they don't even, they would be amazed how many kids would be good at it. Because they grew up in the country.
Yep.
And
Well,
they've
there's
been
some
in
people
water
who
all
can
their life.
swim in
They
the
can
country.
really swim.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but they don't have the facilities, you know, to do it. So they don't, you know, get introduced to it. But they could be some, you know, that could be a great sport right here.
Well, for the Heritage Festival, this is one of the questions that I'm wanting to ask everybody this year, and we'll end our interview with this. Or what do you love most about Jones County? If you could pare it down to one thing, or maybe even a couple of things, what do you love most about living here in Jones County?
The people. The people are so eager to share knowledge, the ones that do, and to help you. You know, it's a whole different lifestyle than being in the city. You know, you get to, it's like I'm in church, and, you know, our churches, we, you know, go to other churches and fellowship, and, you know, you can go anywhere in Jones County. And as long as you, I call it respectable and mountable, what the old folks used to call it, you can always get a meal. That's what they used to say. As long as you're respectable and know how to treat people, you can always get a meal. And it goes the same way in life. As long as you're respectable and know how to act, you can always get good people around you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to have the good people around you. You know, you try to help the bad people because that's our job as Christians. But you got to have the good people to help the bad people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that high up the ladder that's got God in them the ones you got to connect to help the little people. And see, that's what, you know, we try to portray all the time in church. There's nobody in there better than others, you know. And as, you know, officers in the church as a deacon, you're there to serve. You're not there to, you know, put your power out, how great you are and all that. You know, you're there to, if the trash need taken out, take the trash out. Police sweep the floor. Sermon needs sermon, you better have one in your bag.
Be a servant,
Be
right?
a servant, whatever it takes, you know.
I love it. Listen, Mr. Duffin, this has been a treat for me. Thank you so much for this, and enjoy the Heritage Festival.
All right, I will.
Thank you, sir.
All right.